know you are a predator. You could just threaten to eat him instead of giving up your own food. That's something that annoys me about the sequel. It's going so far into the hunky-dory kids movie direction that we have a compound with both carnivores and herbivores, yet at no point do any of the carnivores think about eating some of their inmates. There's even a scene where Junior brings food to some little ceratopsian, whose only character trait is that he always sneezes. I guess you could call it a Coronosaurus.
Why?
Beyond the wall is a mountain. A mountain of fire.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
And it is this that the raptors serve.
The relationship between the raptors and this beast also brings up just more questions. Why do the raptors serve it? Why don't they just run far away? And there's no way the raptors are able to catch and gather enough children to feed this gigantic beast and its 3 babies, and also collect enough food to keep all those dinosaurs alive. And then you need to consider that the raptors themselves need something to eat as well. This setup reminds me of How to Train Your Dragon, except in that movie you can explain these questions away by the fact that all those dragons, including the giant one they served, could fly to cover large distances. Also, why do the babies of the monster sound like the Orcosaurus from Dinosaur Planet? Meanwhile, Speckles encounters an Ankylosaurus. Meanwhile, Speckles encounters an ankylosaur named Psy. No, not that Psy. Well, we know what happens next. Psy now tells his story, and for some reason it is told in a weird flash animation style, because the contrast between Dino King 1 and Dino King 2 wasn't enough already, and his love interest is not an ankylosaur. How do I keep finding interspecies relationships in the crap I am watching? Can nobody scream names normally in this movie?
My vision may be poor, but my smell is the best of all the dinos.
My son, he smells like me.
Oh, that poor kid. What happens when you get... My smell is the best of all the dinos.
My son, he smells like me.
Oh, that poor kid. What happens when you get hungry? You're a meat eater and I'm made of meat.
I told you before, your skin is too tough.
See, they have an actual excuse why a predator would team up with an herbivore without eating him. Which is why it's so frustrating that none of the carnivores in the compound think about this.
This way.
Through the ravine?
Yes, but I really don't like the smell of this. We should go round.
We can't. We don't have time.
Hey, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yay, 2 movie references for the price of 1. No. No! Giant scorpions? What the f- What? Not only were giant scorpions extinct several 100 million years before dinosaurs showed up, but they also were not bigger than a freaking Tarbosaurus. When did this turn into a Primeval episode? Forget everything I said about carnivorous cartoon dinosaurs working together with herbivores. This right here is where the Speckles franchise jumped the shark. Speckles defeats all the scorpions, but not before getting stung. dinosaurs working together with herbivores, this right here is where the Speckles franchise jumped the shark. Speckles defeats all the scorpions, but not before getting stung.
Oh no! Hey! Are you okay? What the? No, I'm sinking! Speckles! No! I can't go out like this! Ah!
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they're being swallowed by a giant sandworm from Dune. In a cave below the sand, they meet Blue's mother, who serves as a new love interest for Speckles.
I saved your life and you attack me?
Not a huge fan of that voice.
And you might be who?
I'm Fang.
Wait, Fang? Her name is Fang?
There were healing herbs nearby. Consider yourself lucky.
That must have been awkward, putting those herbs on his wound with her short little arms. They reach an oasis where a pack of Carnotaurus robs eggs from a herd of sauropods. And of course the Carnotaurs are red like in Disney's Dinosaur. Wait, isn't that one a Primal Carnage skin? Am I crazy? Or does this movie have several Primal Carnage dinosaurs? They decide to help the sauropods because, again, this is a kids movie where everybody has to work together. It's not like the first Speckles movie was all about survival of the strongest or something like that. No, instead we get wholesome interspecies mouth-to-mouth. And in the middle of the fight, we get snap zooms that make this look like a trailer for a fighting game.
Ankylosaurus, aka Buck Whipper.
Now, you're probably thinking this Carnotaurus pack was in some way related to Blade, but no, they never even mentioned again.
Blade, who's waiting for you on the outside?
I don't really know.
Then what was the point of having these specifically be Carnotaurus? Did the filmmakers watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and decided they needed a scene in which a Carnotaurus gets beat up by a Tyrannosaurid? Oh hey, I haven't heard this annoying squealing in years.
Quick question, what's with all the wailing? Are they in pain?
You idiot. That's how they communicate.
So, what are the rules of this movie? Why can certain carnivores and herbivores speak to each other, but others apparently not?
And we've got to get out of here. We can do it if we work together. Don't be silly. It should be really easy. Or are you too scared?
Let me quickly build up my edgelord power.
You'll regret that! Stand down!
What's your plan, big shot?
It's quite simple. Listen up. Not bad.
Wow, that is good.
Ooh.
I'm actually impressed.
Yeah, I am quite amazing, aren't I?
Their brilliant escape plan is waiting till most of the raptors are asleep and then throwing rocks at the remaining ones. How has nobody else thought of that yet? But these three raptors are already waiting for them.
I told you I'd deliver on our deal.
What deal? He's not a carnivore. Sooner or later they're gonna feed him to the monster anyway. Does he think he's a raptor just because he got sharp claws? Or does he have to be evil simply because he got slit pupils?
It's time for dinner, boys. I hope you like barbecue.
I'm hungry.
So am I, actually.
Time.
Dinner time?
Time.
Dinner time? Dinner time?
Dinner time.
Why do you say dinner time if you just throw them back into the compound instead of eating them immediately? Meanwhile, Speckles finally realizes what a terrible
Hey, you! Yes.
I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
Where did you take our children?
Why did you take our kids?
Is he mentally thick?
They interrogate the Indoraptor to find out where the compound is, and then Sai knocks him over a cliff. But the raptor clings to the wall because it would be too brutal for a kids' movie to have him fall to his death. No, instead the fucking canyon walls close in and crush him. Why did it suddenly turn into the ending of Saw 5? Their path gets blocked by boulders, but luckily the sauropod herd shows up, so they can replicate this scene from Disney's Dinosaur. And then we get what is simultaneously the best and worst scene of this entire movie. Yes! They're doing an over-the-top fight scene in the style of Zack Snyder's 300. I don't even need to change the music. And the way it just abruptly cuts off is hilariously awkward.
Let's go!
Wait!
Stop right there!
Oh boy, I can't wait for this epic showdown with Slash and the Raptors. Oh boy, I can't wait for this epic showdown with Slash and the Raptors. Holy crap, how strong are your claws? Unfortunately, this is where his voice actor officially gave up.
My tail! My tail! Let go of me! Please, help me! I take it all back! My claw! Hold! My claw! My whoa!
Junior and the other children come across a ravine with a river, and they remind us one more time that Junior is afraid of water. And as much as I hate that they reuse the footage from the first movie, even I have to admit that this gives Junior an actual character arc. You see, I can say positive things about this movie.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
They surface in an underground cave.
What the? What?
Yeah, that's an appropriate reaction. What the hell are those things? Lizards? Are we in a dinosaur movie from the 60s? Speckles and Fang show up and rescue them.
When will you ever change?
Huh?
You should be able to take those guys head on without running away. You should be ashamed of yourself.
But Dad, I went back for Dusty.
Enough.
What the hell, Speckles? You already went through the part of your character arc where you admit that you were too harsh on your son. Why are you now acting like an asshole again? This is exactly what I mean when I say he is too unlikable in this movie. Anyway, now that they are in the cave, it is time to finally meet the monster of Fire Mountain.
I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin.
the fuck am I looking at? Is that a fucking dragon? Remember when I said the Speckles franchise jumped the shark with the giant scorpions? Well, they fucking did it again! Imagine telling someone who just watched the first movie that Speckles eventually fights against a fucking dragon! I don't even know what this thing is supposed to be! It's like some unholy amalgamation of a great Jaguars, Smaug, the Sarcosuchus from Dino Time, and the Badass? Or maybe I was wrong about One-Eye taking refuge in North America, and he actually mutated into this fucking thing. Anyway, the monster is buried by the ceiling collapsing.
No! Junior!
My son. I'm sorry. I was wrong to judge you. Never again.
Well, now we finally get that confession by him. Junior wakes up after Speckles sheds a tear and the Ceratopsian sheds some viruses, but now they are trapped in the cave and cannot get out. It's just like the scene from Disney's Dinosaur, except they've already had their sauropod ex machina earlier in the movie, so now they have to come up with something else.
Ability woman is just beneath the skin. I must confess that I
Feel like a monster!
What? No! How is this thing still alive? They're no longer jumping the shark, they're jumping a fucking megalodon! They've managed to break every single lava scene I've ever complained about! Unless this truly is supposed to be an actual fucking dragon. The monster crashes into the wall and they escape while the cave collapses, finally killing it this time. Unless they bring it back for the next Dino King sequel.
Until next time.
I don't think so.
Why does he suddenly want to kiss her? It comes out of nowhere. Why does this movie feel like hinting at another interspecies relationship in its last few minutes?
I'm just sad I didn't get to find out how you taste.
And I guess that's the most fitting way to end this review. Like hinting at another interspecies relationship in its last few minutes.
I'm just sad I didn't get to find out how you taste.
And I guess that's the most fitting way to end this review. Dino King Journey to Fire Mountain is fucking bonkers. It manages to be both better and worse than the first Speckles movie, depending on how you view its shift to a more cartoony style with straight up fantasy elements. The designs of the characters are a better fit for a CGI dinosaur movie than those of Pixar's The Good Dinosaur, even if that one has better animation from a technical standpoint. Nevertheless, I have to acknowledge what a huge amount of effort went into the animation of this movie. So even if it looks somewhat animation from a technical standpoint. Nevertheless, I have to acknowledge what a huge amount of effort went into the animation of this movie. So even if it looks somewhat sloppy during the fight scenes, for a South Korean movie this is still very impressive. As no family members of the protagonist get killed or raped in this movie, the tone is much more consistent and child appropriate. But it's still kinda insane that this movie features characters getting crushed, falling into lava, and emerging out of lava. And even if no dinosaur villain will ever reach One-Eye's level of edginess, the combination of Slash and the monster of Fire Mountain at least comes close. However, any genuine enjoyment I could get out of this movie is killed by how bad the English dub and the sound mixing is. So just like the first Speckles movie, I personally can only watch this ironically. But if you are a genuine Dino King fan, do not let my video diminish your enjoyment of this movie. And even if you agree with my statement, leave the people who genuinely like this movie alone. And with that said, after over 2 years and hundreds of comments, the South Korean Tarbosaurus trilogy has been completed at last. I can finally rest now. I wish you all a happy new year.
treated you too harshly. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.